Hi everyone, hope you're all doing well, and today we're doing a Lordstown Motors stock update. A lot of you guys were on the last video asking for this, so I will be doing that today for you guys and give my opinions on where I'm at with Lordstown Motors and everything that's gone on. So for me doing that for you guys, all I ask is if you could smash that like button. Maybe we can aim for 200 likes, that would be pretty cool if we could get there. And we'll take a look at Lordstown Motors. So there's not really that much news that's changed with it. The stock market price has changed a little bit. It's gone down a little bit from when I last talked about this stock. But there's not really that much news articles that has come out with Lordstown Motors. The only big news that we've had is the merger has been confirmed. So when you go onto your portfolio now, you'll see that it's changed to Lordstown Motors and it's got the ticker symbol RIDE. And as well, when we go on like Google, you'll see that it's now not called Diamond Peak, it's called Lordstown Motors, which is great. That's the one thing that I really wanted to see happen over the next few weeks, and it has happened, which is absolutely amazing. I'm a little bit sad because I do think Diamond Peak was a pretty cool name, but realistically in the long term, you know, obviously we need to trade under Lordstown Motors, so that's all complete now. Hopefully that will maybe attract a few more people in now that merger's done. Obviously the only problem is that recently we've just had so much hype around the stock when it was Diamond Peak, so now that maybe that's all gone through, the stock price might calm down a little bit. But in general, like, this is why I don't like getting too involved with like SPACs and IPOs, just because of how volatile they are, how much they can go down, how much they can go up. I just like, you know, keeping it nice and steady, especially on like a smaller market cap size, are a lot more volatile as well. So, you know, there was a lot of hype in there, and for me, when I'm a long-term investor coming into this company, it's not great because I know at the same time there's a chance that it goes up. But, you know, it's one of those that I just rather have it just stay pretty calm, to be honest with you. But saying that, the thing is when I got to Diamond Peak or Lordstown Motors, is that when I originally got into it, I knew this was going to be a long-term hold, and I knew it was going to be a very up and down ride, and I generally don't expect anything from this company for a year. Like, it's pretty much a stock that I'm just going to lock away, and I wasn't actually really planning on talking about it again for probably like a year's time, until we started seeing like the production of the endurance start ramping up. That's when I was probably going to go talk about it, which, like I say, is in a year's time really. So it's a stock that I'll just kind of lock up, not talk about. This is the thing about YouTube, sometimes you buy companies that you just kind of like, you want to just leave alone and not talk about again in your portfolio until it starts kicking in, and like all the catalysts for why the stock's going to go up start happening. You know, you don't really want to, like, you just want to build that position, not look at the stock price, see what happens. But being like a stock market YouTuber, it's quite tricky because I know people want my opinion on certain things that are going on. And like say, like the stock price at the moment has gone down from where I bought. I think I'm down about 30% from where I am right now. And I think like people are asking, like, you know, what's going on? Do I buy? Do I sell? But the problem is with this sort of company, you know, there's no catalyst for this company to do that well really over the next year until production starts coming up. And like I say, it's one of those companies that I don't expect any returns from for probably the longer term of my holdings, like 2 years to 5 years. I don't really expect the company to do anything because it's not going to be having that much sales. You know, it's a very risky play, it's a high risk play, but at the same time you're going to have to wait longer term, but you'll see potentially more growth from this one, you know, more share price appreciation. You know, when I buy into this company, I kind of expect, you know, I normally say I want 100% return in this company, but realistically when I'm buying into this company, Lordstown Motors, I'm actually expecting a bit more from this one. I'm expecting like a 300% return because I'm going to be holding it for the longer scale. I'm going to be holding it to that 4 to 5 year kind of range. So even though it's a high risk, I've got to wait longer, at the same time I'm expecting bigger returns from this one. And like I say, I don't really want to get too involved with like talking about it so much because it's just a company that I'm willing to buy and then lock away and not talk about or touch for a very long time. And that, with the share price at the moment, and I think a few people might be getting a little bit worried with this company. If you're kind of worried in this situation and you're not willing to hold for that longer term, then this is a company that's not for you. You shouldn't be buying into companies that you're not willing to hold for that time length. For me, I look at Lordstown Motors and yeah, I'm a big fan of Tesla, but the valuation is crazy. I look at Workhorse. I'm a fan of Workhorse, but the problem is it's a pure gamble. Like, it's 50-50. Do they get the United States Postal Service contracts? Do they not get it? If they don't get it, the stock's going to get killed. If they do get it, the stock's going to go up. And that's a 50-50 one for me. But I look at Lordstown Motors and I'm looking at the company thinking, these guys are going into the pickup truck market. electric. There's no vehicles in here. It's a fresh start. They're going fresh from Tesla. Sure, Tesla have a bit of a competitive edge because, you know, of how much scale and production they've already ramped up. But at the same time, they haven't got any vehicles in this kind of sector right now. And it's kind of, you know, a fresh for, you know, Lordstown to go into here. And when you look at the valuation side of it, what you're paying up for Lordstown right now and something you're paying up for Tesla, it's a great opportunity. And I think I look at Lordstown and I think it's probably the best EV for the price you're paying for, probably the best EV play in the whole sector. And for me, I need some coverage in the EV market, because you think of the EV market, it's going to be huge over the next 5 years. The EV sector in the stock market is probably going to be one of the biggest areas that you want to be in as an investor. And if I can't do that with Tesla because of the valuation, I'm looking at Lordstown over the next 5 years and thinking this valuation and what they have to offer could be really good for my portfolio. So I'm looking at the catalyst of Lordstown Motors now and thinking, well, why is this going to do well? Well, why is this company going to do, you know, so well going forward? Well, when you look at what the company's achieved so far, it's already got its plant from GM, so the production side of it is pretty solid. You look at what they're going to bring out, pickup truck, electric EV, no one in this sector right now, going to be probably one of the first ones to market alongside the Cybertruck. And you look at what success it's had so far, and you look and I think it's 1.4 billion revenue in pre-orders right now, which is fantastic. And, you know, we're still a year off from when we start getting the first orders out, really. And that's why I'm, you know, just sitting on this one for a year, because there'll be no catalyst for this really going up that much until then we start getting some production of that endurance pickup truck. And the pickup truck market is huge in America. You know, it's one of the biggest markets out there. So it's going for the biggest market, which there's at the moment no one in there just yet. And it's kind of designed it slightly different from the Cybertruck, which makes it stand out. It's also going for a little bit of a different market from the Cybertruck as well, where the Cybertruck is kind of, you know, you know, the family vehicle or what have you. The actual endurance is a actual work designed to be used on a work site, for example. So, you know, that makes it a little bit different from that one, I believe, as well. And I think, like, you know, when you look at the Cybertruck's appearance, like, you love it or you hate it. Whereas I think you look at this one and you can question the front end on the endurance, but generally it looks a pretty solid vehicle, which I think will make it appeal to quite a bigger market as well. So when I take that all into consideration, when I think about the first to market, the production they'll be able to do, and also the amount of pre-orders they're having here with it still being a year off production, I feel like there's a massive market here for Lordstown to go into. And if they can deliver what they said in their investor relation presentation, where they're going to try, how much they're going to try scale up production, how close they'll be to, like, you know, profitability, how much revenue there's going to grow, and you look at the current valuation of Lordstown right now, this is totally why I can see the stock doing really well over the next, you know, 2 to 5 years. So for me right now with Lordstown, it's a company that I still a big fan of. I don't really want to talk about it and touch the stock that much over, like, the next kind of year until we get to production. Buying wise, I am probably going to still buy some. I'm probably not going to buy any for a little bit longer right now, just because I think that, like I say, I don't think there's any catalyst for the stock price to move up that much, whereas I think there's a lot of short-term people in the stock that will move eventually out of this company, which may lead the stock to go lower. And like I say, I don't think the price will shoot up that much anytime soon, because, like I say, there's not really a massive catalyst for this stock to go up, because it's not got production for, you know, another year really, another 6 months. So I will probably buy some more. I'm not in a rush to buy any more, but like I say, I'm happy with how everything's going. But for me, this is a really, really long-term hold. Like this, Lordstown Motors and Gang are my two positions that I am looking and thinking these are stocks I'm holding for at least 3 to 5 years. You know, a lot of the catalyst of why the stock are going to kick in and go up aren't going to happen for a little bit, which is great because it gives you time as well to build up your positions, gives you a lot of time to maybe average in, maybe get them for a little bit lower as well. So for these two companies, especially Lordstown, because that's the one we talk about today, it's a bit of a waiting game really. You got to have a bit of patience with this one, and that's what I'm doing right now. I'm kind of, you know, happy to sit on the sideline, just let it do its thing, and as long as it's just kind of sitting there around this sort of range, every over a month or something, I might just add a little bit more into that position anyway. So that's a little update on Lordstown Motors anyway, guys. I hope it was useful for some of you guys that were asking for it. As always, if you could smash the like button, that'd be absolutely amazing. Subscribe if you are new around here, and I'll see you next video.